What's up guys, Devin Henderson here with Waterfront Realty. In this quick video, I want to discuss a topic that can a buyer cancel a real estate contract before closing? This is something I hope you don't find yourself in, but if you are a buyer and you're having reasons to want to back out, to need to back out, maybe there's circumstances that are making you forced to back out of the contract and the seller's giving you a hard time. Can you back out prior to closing? The quick answer is in most cases, yes, but you would definitely want to have a good real estate attorney representing you in your purchase, so that you're properly advised and that you're properly advised quickly, because obviously these things are usually going to be time of the essence. Obviously, if you're on an as-is contract and you're within your due diligence period, that's a quick, easy out of the contract, no problem. It's very black and white, clean, get out of jail basically. If you change your mind, you can find another property, whatever it is, as long as it's within your as-is due diligence period, you're out. Cancel. It's a unilateral cancellation. You don't even need the seller to sign that in most cases. So, but there are many other reasons. Let's say you're a buyer and you're well along in the purchase process, and maybe something happens, a life event happens, a big expense or something like that, unexpected during the purchase, and now maybe you don't qualify anymore. Maybe now your financing is no longer, you would likely be protected by your financing contingency in that case, because you just wouldn't qualify for the loan. So you would have a financing contingency, obviously, if that's how the deal was structured. There's many other reasons as to why or how you might be able to get out of a purchase contract. One that comes to mind now is, let's say you're purchasing a condo. In the state of Florida, you are required by Florida law to get what's called the condo docs. These are your rules and regulations, your bylaws, your governance forms, your financials in the community. There's a number of things that you a buyer are required to get, especially when you're buying a resale condo. If you don't get those documents and the seller never provided those to you, that is one way you can get out of that contract as well, all the way up until the day before closing. You could say, hey, I never got those rules and regulations. I just found out that I can't have a barbecue grill on my lanai. Sadly, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm out. You would get your deposit back, and sadly, the seller and their agent would not be very happy, but shame on them. That's why you definitely want a good listing agent as well as a good buyer's agent, no matter what side of the transaction you are on. That is who you're going to count on. That's who you're going to depend on, and that's who's going to give you advice throughout the transaction. So never forget, who you work with is important. It's not always about working with the listing agent because I'm going to save a couple bucks or whatever it is. People have all kinds of crazy ideas as to how they're going to cheat the system, so to speak. But the system is designed to protect you as the consumer, no matter which side you're on. If you're a seller, you want a good listing agent. If you're a buyer, you want a good buyer's agent, someone that's going to advise you. And often agents, such as myself, I work with both, right? Most agents do work with both, but just experience and knowledge, it goes a long way. You want to have someone that's done many transactions, because no two transactions are the same. I've seen tons and tons of things come up in a deal that completely unexpected, and you have to find a workaround. You have to be quick, because a lot of these deadlines are time of the essence. So make sure you're aware of that. And again, if you're a buyer and you're looking to cancel a contract before closing, my number one advice is obviously consult your attorney who's handling your closing, consult your agent, and review the contract in detail. More than likely, there's going to be a provision in there, but just beware that not always. Your deposit could be at risk. This is something you should be aware of. Whatever your initial deposit was, maybe even your second deposit could be at risk. And I've seen buyers completely walk away from deposits because in their circumstance, maybe they found a better property and they didn't have a right to cancel, but they were willing to sacrifice their deposit and give it to the seller just in order to cancel that contract. That's not what most people would do, but in Naples, I've seen some crazy things. If you've got enough money and maybe your deposit was only a few $1,000s or $10,000, depending on the price of the home, you may be willing to walk away from that to avoid purchasing that property. Certainly wouldn't want to put my customer in that position to make that type of decision. I would always try to give them some type of out. I always look out for my customer's interests as if it was me purchasing the property. So I pride myself in giving the best quality professional advice that I can give as a local broker I love what I do. I love my hometown, and I love serving my customers here in Southwest Florida. So if you ever have a question regarding breaking a contract, getting out of a contract, writing a strong contract, or having all the necessary documents on a list side, give me a call on my cell, 239-877-3994. Thank you.